U-GeekTV.
Welcome back to another edition to the Unapologetic Opinion right here on U-GeekTV. I am your host, Jarius, the Unapologetic Geek. I am joined yet again by my very esteemed colleague, Hoodie C. Bro, how are you doing, man?
I'm feeling good, man. You know, rough day, but shit, we still here breathing, so that's the only thing that matters.
Bro, we balled. Man, I just knocked the shit out of my microphone. I hope I don't hear that shit on the back end. Pause. But man, all right. So in this edition, I'll be honest, man, we're not gonna do any reviews. And the reason why we're not doing any reviews is my fault. I was unable to catch up on the stuff that we were getting ready to review, and that's on me. But life happens, shit happens. So we're gonna change it up a little bit. Today, we will be talking about the latest news on Diddy and his whole situation. We got some unapologetic debates. It's a new segment. We got some things that we're going to talk about. I'm very excited about that. We're going to get into the news after that. But first, the biggest thing that we got going on, it's going to be unapologetically off topic. We did this segment, I believe, in episode 2, maybe 3. And it's coming back. It is back with a vengeance, man. And you know what? We just got to get into
it. Not the bitches.
Hey, man. These people wilded over the weekend, bro. These people wilded over the weekend. Listen, man. Listen. The man on your left, I got nothing but respect for one, Steve Smith, man. Nothing but respect for this man. I just like the way he played and his toughness, man. And he's one of the better and funnier shit talkers because you know it's not an act. You know he really trying to fight or whatever, man. So I always found that funny about him. One of my favorite clips is of him when he was talking about what was he saying? He was doing an interview, the sideline report, and they were in the background kind of playing around or whatever. And the ball or somebody almost hit him, and he was like,
"Oh yeah."
He lost all concentration. He said, "Look, man, if that ball had hit me, it wouldn't have been no game tonight. It just would be the end of it." So it's one of the funnier things. But what I got to talk about is very, very serious. Very serious. So the two people in this picture are married that are not black. The other two people are married. I'm not going to get to, I forgot what their first names are, but I know their last names are Rodriguez. Mr. Rodriguez took to Twitter and Facebook and really any social media that he could get his hands on to let the world know that his wife, Mrs. Rodriguez, has been cheating with Steve Smith Sr. And it was quite the spectacle. Here's the thing, man, and I just want to give this advice to anybody. If you got something like this going on, if your lady is out here cheating on you or your man, you know, and this is for heterosexual and gay, lesbian couples and all of that kind of stuff, man. If your person is cheating, do not crash out on the internet for the world to see. Please. I'm just asking y'all to do that. That's y'all's business. You don't want to be plastered all over podcasts, especially when it comes to these dating and red pill podcasts. And if it's a celebrity, the celebrity podcast is going to take you down, man. Right. And now, I mean, this is why we're here. We don't even talk about celebrities. We talk about entertainment. And I found a way to get this shit in here. So be warned. Like, don't do that shit. But he did it, and we got to talk about it. Bro, it's not the fact that she was cheating. It's not it. That's not even, like, shit happens. It's the text messages, man.
Legendary.
The text messages are egregious. When I tell you Steve Smith was acting like this was his baby right here, she getting the pictures of him in his day-to-day. the you know what you doing, how you doing, text early in the morning and all that kind of stuff. Like they had a real thing going on.
Oh yeah, they damn sure did.
But the problems come in with her text messages more so than his, right? I'm gonna tell you, it's two, man, that it pained me. And I know that man was on the verge of emptying the clip. Right? I know that man was on. When I read that text message where she said that she thought that he tore her IUD out, that was problematic for me.
Yeah.
That was an issue. That was an issue, man. I said, now hold on, man. Like, she essentially saying this brother's digging her out, man. And as a man, if you hear something like that about your old lady, bro, you on the floor, doubled over. You got to take a shit. You about to throw up, man. Yeah. But then you get to this. That one is egregious. And I'm gonna turn it over to you with this one. It's the other message, man, that really pained me when she said, and I hope I'll get flagged by YouTube for this, but we gonna find out. When she said that she was gonna try to gag on it, but she had to go home to her family. She worked for the Baltimore Ravens, and Steve Smith, I believe that was his last year was with the Ravens, so clearly that's where they met. Y'all, man, she was doing, and you know there was a car link. They wasn't in no room or nothing like that. That was a car link, man.
Facts.
Oh, it's hurting me just talking about it. Ain't got nothing to do with it. Ain't got nothing to do with this shit, bro. What do you think about the just egregious nature of one Steve Smith singing?
Hey man, it was tough, bro. Because like you said, shout out to Agent 89, man. He was definitely one of my favorite players to watch. Growing up playing the receiver position, you know, I think Steve is a little shorter than I am, but he held it down for everybody under 6'1" receiver type, man. He was the blueprint for all that. You know, you got to be 6'2" or 6'3" to dominate in this league, and he did it at 5'9", 5'10", bro. Shout out to Steve. But the way I shook my head after reading these messages, bro, like, and you're not surprised, right? We not surprised.
We not surprised.
Yeah, man. It's the world of athletes, bro. Like, ain't too many of them out there who get to that level who actually doing the right thing. A lot of them just good with covering their business up, man. Right? You know, a little hush money here and there, but I was hurt. I was hurting for him, bro.
I couldn't imagine the pain. I really couldn't imagine the pain that man was going through. And it was so difficult for me to even just put myself in his position. Like, bro, like that's your wife, the mother of your son, man. And then he flashed out and he called Steve Smith about it, which that's a fight he definitely didn't want. He definitely didn't want that fight. But here's the thing, man. As a man, when you have a wife or even just a girlfriend that you really care about or something like that, man, it's a war that you're willing to go over when you go to there. And he flashed out and he called Steve Smith. He going off and berating Steve. And Steve was like, I'm sorry. That's the only thing he gave him was I'm sorry. And he got on off the damn phone. And she's come out. She's since come out. And she, you know, copped to it too and was like, you know, I guess I'm about to be single. She about to be back out there with him. But it's just, and Steve has been pretty silent. His family has been silent, which is to be expected. But it's the embarrassment of it all for everybody involved that got me. And it's just a sad situation. And it's so sad because it kind of reminds me of another situation. And, you know, I said I had a surprise for you. Let's check it out.
Out in Spain.
On The View.
That's going viral, which features a contestant who is shown this live stream video of his girlfriend. Take a look.
provecho, Sandra. ¡Cabrona!
Por favor, Montoya, por favor. Por favor, Montoya.
¡Cabrón!
Montoya, Montoya.
¡No te amo!
Montoya, vuelve.
Te estaba deseando, tío. ¿Dónde está?
Montoya, por favor.
¡No te amo! ¡Ah!
Montoya, Montoya.
¡Me has destrozado! ¡Te vas a repetir toda tu vida!
So the clip
Oh my gosh.
has been viewed by more than 154 million people.
154
Well,
million.
the most riveting 2 minutes
Numbers.
of television ever.
Oh.
So
Tus gustos cambian todo el tiempo.
First of all, let me say this. My first issue is the lady who laughed immediately as the clip was over. Fact. That's my first. Really? Your first instinct that what's her name? It's not Tony. Is it Tony Holman? Maybe, or something like that. I can't remember her name. But she was the one that you know, her mouth was just wide open, like she couldn't believe what she saw. You can see that she was empathetic. That's tough. When I tell you Mr. Rodriguez was doing what my boy Montoya was doing, and he was ready to run across the beach, to get over there to see what was up, I know that's how that man felt, man. I know that's how it felt like. In that clip, it's a much longer clip than that. It's cut up and desensitized for YouTube because it does get raunchy. It's pretty much uncut over there. And that's from Temptation Island. I can't remember what country it is, but that's from over there. But like, she getting it with dog while Montoya is running across this beach, and he not supposed to be going over there. In the week since, she's still doing my boy Montoya dirty. And he can't really get his get back on it like that. Here's the craziest part, and we discussed this when I first shared that clip with you. Right. You do not know what he is saying, but you can understand everything that he's going through in that clip.
1000%.
1000%. That shit's, bruh. Mrs. Rodriguez, you broke my boy down, man. Mrs. Rodriguez, look, I don't know the inner workings of y'all relationship, but I know this man flashed down and crashed down, and now is officially humiliated all three of the people involved on this picture. And yeah, man, I hope y'all fix it. I don't think you can at this point, because between the IUD and I got to go home to my kids and I can't properly service, you know, that's tough. Those are images that's gonna stay with that man. Oh, so yes, I feel like relationship's over. It's just over. Sad.
Yeah, man. He said something along the lines of, you know, people was trying to check him, like, "Hey, man, just take this down, bro. Like, you don't need this embarrassment, man." And he was, you know, basically like, "I don't care, bro. Like, the world gonna forget me, man."
That's what he said. But he said, "I chose my path. I was prepared to walk this path all the way. Y'all, there's nothing you can tell me that's gonna make me just disappear, take this down." What's funny is he kept tagging Antonio Brown on Twitter in all his posts.
The wrong person.
And Antonio Brown came up there. He's like, "Well, what the fuck I got to do with this?" Antonio Brown was confused, man. Like, hey. And he's something. Antonio Brown is a person that his foolishness, he gonna find it. Don't bring him into your foolishness for him to perpetuate it and put it out there.
That's an invite for
him. Man, all right, you watch out. You watch out. Man, he'll get a hold of it too. Yeah. Then you really gonna be mad.
Hey, beat next.
Anyways, man, let us know what your thoughts are about this situation. Honestly, I can talk about Montoya too, but let us know in the comments what you think, man. All right. Moving on. Yeah. The headline, my little headline, it says, "This is exactly how I feel." Diddy likely did all this shit. He likely did all this shit. So one of Diddy's attorneys, because you know in these situations where you're rich, you have several. One of his attorneys opted to recuse himself from representing Diddy, saying under no circumstances can he represent this man. No circumstances at all will he represent Diddy. For a criminal defense attorney to stand up and recuse himself of a situation like that, it must be it's something so egregious that this attorney cannot find it in himself to be impartial and continue to represent these men.
Facts.
I remember growing up hearing about all the stories about how terrible of a person they Diddy was. And you didn't necessarily have to like hear stories to see it. Like when he got on Making the Band 2, 3, and I believe 4, and was acting a fool, he showed you that he really wasn't this great of a person. Then we got the Cassie video footage.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of confirmations. And then you also had the stories from 50 Cent, who's working on a documentary about Diddy, by the way. Where 50 Cent constantly said, this is a terrible person. And I want to do everything in my power to let y'all know it's a terrible person.
Mm-hmm.
So Diddy is essentially facing a lot of charges when it comes to trafficking, right? FBI did a search and seizure, in one of his homes. It was 1,000 bottles of baby oil, which nothing good can come from that. There's allegedly some testimony. There's a giant bed outside of one of his residences. And then you got LeBron James, who used to say, ain't no party like a Diddy party. We hadn't heard shit from him since all this came out. And it's just one of those things, these Diddy parties, apparently, all these people from all walks of life will come and engage in debauchery. A lot of Babylonian shit was going on at these parties. And I'll put it like this. Whatever crimes he committed, because certainly crimes were committed, and the trafficking comes in with him providing women for these parties, right?
Mm-hmm.
He did this shit, all right? The other thing is, who was complicit with him with setting all this shit up? Because he didn't do all this shit alone, right? And I think it comes into it's somebody of substance. When you hear stuff like this comes out, it's somebody of substance that he probably pissed off. And apparently it's some evidence implicating a lot of people that he has since he filmed everything. I really wonder how this is all going to play out over time. But what are your thoughts on Diddy losing one of his attorneys?
Hey, he did that shit, bro. Whatever they accusing him of, he did all of it, dog. Like, ain't no way, bro. This man is getting paid to say that you didn't do it. And it's like you said, bro. Whatever you did was so egregious that he was like, I'm out. This man has probably, he's got to be a high-end lawyer. He's working for Diddy. This man has probably defended murderers, all that type of shit. And he probably did that without batting an eye. For him to walk away from this and basically try to grant himself immunity, you cooked, bro.
He was like, nah, man, I'm out of this shit. And y'all better not hear nothing. No, I don't want to talk about it.
You cooked, bro. Like, I've never liked the dude my damn self, man. But like you said, you just hear stuff over the years, and then like you said, the videos come out. Like I felt so bad for Cassie, man. And it's just like, nah, bro. Like I don't even know how you defend this man from the jump. I mean, obviously the money probably paying well, but morally, like there's no level that I could have stooped to been like, I'll fight for you, dog. Nah, bro.
Another issue I've had is the people telling the stories along with the creep shit now.
Right.
Like I understand people like Day 26 coming out talking about their trauma that they experienced, with how he treated them when it comes to music. I understand Chopper coming out talking about everything that happened with the band and how essentially a big part of them breaking up and why they weren't really pushed like that is because Diddy started messing with Sarah and stuff like that. Like those stories I'm okay with. It's the egregious bullshit. And you hear people coming out like Farnsworth Bentley. He has some semi come out and said there were some things going on, the elements of truth to this stuff. Now 50 Cent, again, I give him props because he's been saying it for years, but now all of a sudden everybody want to go out and talk. And that was my biggest issue with that R. Kelly documentary.
Right.
R. Kelly ain't shit to me. He ain't shit to me. He ain't been shit to me in a long time. You know, he's where he's supposed to be. It was how many people helped him to do that shit, and they come on as though they themselves are somehow victims, or they themselves are somehow above reproach because they're whistleblowers. That's what bothers me about that. Because you didn't, where was your morality when all this shit was going on? Now that the money is not where it used to be, or the shit has hit the fan, now it's time to talk. I can't respect it. And there's no amount of money that I'm willing to take that'll compromise me seeing something like so brutal is what Diddy's being accused of and what R. Kelly was accused and ultimately went to jail for. There's no amount of money that let me just be all right with this shit. And then y'all coming out here like y'all the heroes, man. Right. And to me, a lot of those parents in the R. Kelly situation, they should be in jail too, because I know they work with them. I know they work with them. That's why they won't really talk about it. And it's one set of parents in particular whose daughter is no longer with us. I've always said they did it. I've always said they work with R. Kelly to get their daughter's career off the ground, and they sold that unfortunate woman. And I'm not gonna get into it because I don't know what the legalities are all that it's talking about, but you can read between the lines. Right. A very famous person who is no longer with us. I know their parents had something to do with everything that she went with.
Facts.
I very much, there's no other way around it. No other way around it. And yeah, when it comes to this, you know, I hear the people talking about keeping the black man down, all that kind of stuff. Look, man, I'm all about accountability at the end of the day.
That part.
And I don't care what color you are. You did some bullshit. I'm not about to try and circumvent the reality of what I've seen and the evidence that I've seen over the years of trying and prop you up and make you look a certain way and try and rule that out or talk about what the white man is doing. And I'm not about to talk about that. Everybody, just like I feel like Diddy should be held accountable, I felt the same way about Harvey Weinstein. Right?
Right.
The other thing is, on the flip side, if you're exonerated, I feel like that should be as loud as when everybody was trying to accuse you of shit. And hardly anybody is talking about Jay-Z's innocence. Ain't that a bitch? Ain't that a bitch? Hardly anybody. I didn't even know he got that the lawsuit was dropped until it was like a random tweet I saw.
Facts.
And that was it. It wasn't here's the link to the article and nothing like that, which is what I saw when he was initially accused.
All right.
Crazy shit, man. Crazy shit. All right, man. So let's go back. Go back to the main screen here. And what you got, man? You some questions that you had for me?
Oh, shoot. Let's run it in.
Our new segment, Unapologetic Debates. And he hit me up. He told me that he had some questions for me. We're going to talk about it. And let's just see how it goes. And then we got the main event debate, which is right after this. So let's go.
Right. All right. I got two for you, bro. So the first one, you know, everybody, if y'all don't know, y'all know we love the sports here, you know, entertainment, all that good jazz. I grew up loving animals before sports even came into the picture, man. I ain't get cable till I was in like the 4th grade. So I had my Saturday morning cartoons and I had Animal Planet, bro. That's what I grew up on. So animals always have a special place in my heart. So I wanted to know if, and obviously we have our faith, we have our beliefs, we're not getting into that. But if you had a chance to come back as any animal, what would you be?
A tiger. Tiger. Apex predator. One of several apex predators, but I think I do Siberian because I believe they're the biggest tigers, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
but yeah, man, being able to be, you're not safe in the tree, you're not safe in water, you're not safe if you're a reptile, if you're another big cat, whatever it is. Like they are the dominant species. My second choice, because the ocean is so interesting to me, would be an orca, another apex predator.
For sure.
A coordinated army of apex predators, to be honest. Amazing animals, smart but deadly. But yeah, those would be. My first would be a tiger. Orca would be my honorable mention. Who you got?
Hey man, birds of a feather fly together, man. See, that the lion is my favorite animal. Always has been, always will be.
Okay.
As a kid, I wanted to be a lion, bro. Until I realized, average lifespan of a male lion 3 to 5 years. You got to constantly fight every day. It's a hard, brutal life, bro.
It's a tournament.
Yeah, essentially, you're a gladiator, bro.
Right.
Every fight, you in the Coliseum, dog. So it didn't happen until I became a man and I actually started understanding hardship.
I had enough of that.
100% give me the orca, aka the killer whale, bro.
Oh yeah.
I get 60 to 80 years of life. I'm the apex predator, bro. I'm chilling out in the water. I'm swimming for days. People can no longer fuck with you. They can't catch you no more.
And they don't want you. They don't want to.
Hey, bro, give me that, man. Like, I get a family with me. You know what I'm saying? I get to have my community,
you
bro.
Get the mob. They are a mob, man.
Hey, give me the wolf of the sea, man. Like, easily, bro. Honorable mention. I would have to go with my second favorite animal, bro. Give me a jaguar, man.
Jaguars are tough.
Living in the Amazon, bro, it's a daily fight for survival, but you take everything out. And there's probably been some jags that took some L's, but you taking anacondas down, you taking black caimans down. You top of the food chain, bro. Like you said with the tiger, bro. You ain't nothing out climbing you.
Right.
Ain't nothing out swimming you. Like when I seen jaguars hunting and swimming down caiman, I was like, hey, they got it, bro.
That was some different shit. I remember the first time I seen that shit, I was like, wait, it don't feel like it's supposed to be in the jaguars in their prey.
Right.
The net of prey that they would eat. It doesn't seem like it's supposed to be the case, but here we are. Jaguars do eat caiman. They like a little reptile, like a little seafood.
Yeah,
That shit is tough. All right,
strongest bite pound for pound, man. Yeah. On the cats, man. Hey, give me a jag, dog.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, what's your next one?
All right, we're gonna make this one quick here, bro.
All right, let's go.
It kind of goes into the debate category. The first one wasn't really a debate. So this one, I don't remember if me, you, and E talked about this in the group chat about a year and a half ago, 2 years, when I first was presented with this question. So, all right, in a situation in a fight for survival, would you rather have to fight one jaguar-sized cardinal or 100 cardinal-sized jaguars?
Give me the Jaguar size Cardinal. Give me the Jaguar. I'm gonna tell you why, man. Because the Cardinal is not like a predator. You know what I mean? It's not gonna. It doesn't have that beak that's gonna tear you apart or nothing like that. The claws might hurt you, but it's not. Again, it's not a predator. I can take that motherfucker. I can beat that. I can beat a Cardinal ass. It's the size of a Jaguar. I can beat a Cardinal ass. 100 Cardinal size Jaguars though. Bro, tearing your damn ankles up, man. Because a cardinal is a small bird, but it's not like a finch or nothing like that. Like it's a decent size. Them motherfuckers got claws and teeth, man. Nah, I'm good. I'm good. I can take the cardinal, man. I can beat the cardinal ass. I'm confident I can beat that cardinal ass. I don't know if I can beat all them damn Jaguars, man. That's some bullshit.
Yeah,
if you can stomp on them out, your feet gonna be fucked up. Your feet gonna be fucked up, man. What you got?
I think this one was fairly easy. I'm going with the Jaguar size Cardinal, bro.
Take that motherfucker, man. Put that bitch in the headlock.
Bro, like you said, it's not a predator to begin with. It's not even gonna try to really kill you for real. You know, if it hits you in the chest with that beak, you know, you may have a bruised sternum, but
yeah,
you're gonna get out of there alive, dog. You got 100 little assassins, bro. Like it's
too
like
many
you said,
numbers,
man. Yeah, like shout out to Rush Hour 3, man. Like Kenji said, man. Death by 1,000 cuts, bro. So even if you somehow miraculously get out of this alive, you're gonna bleed out, dog.
You're gonna bleed out. Nah, man, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that dumb shit. Nope. You're gonna bleed out.
There's no way in the world I'm picking
There's no
the
way in the world getting out of there, man. You're gonna bleed the fuck out, man. They take your ankle gone. Ankle is cooked.
It's over with. They slice your Achilles, bro. It's over with.
That's what I'm just thinking about. They slice your Achilles. That's it. It's done.
It's over with.
You can't come. Ain't no coming back from that. Ain't no coming back from that. You just ate. You ate the fuck up. That's
Not
it.
at all, man. Hey, shout out to the animal segment, man.
Oh yeah,
appreciate
man.
the time for that, bro.
Most definitely. All right, last debate. This is the main event of the evening. Saw this one on Twitter, man. 50 Saiyans versus 50 Viltrumites. Who comes out? Now, somebody earlier this week or last week said that Invincible is Caucasian Dragon Ball Z, which was hilarious to me. First of all, everybody watched Dragon Ball Z. It wasn't just a black thing. It wasn't. Everybody watched Dragon Ball Z. So the Caucasians are already here. But to call it American Dragon Ball Z is funny as hell to me. It is. And then I started thinking about the comparisons. I'm like, yeah, they do got a lot of comparisons. They do. But with that said, somebody came up and they was like 50 Saiyans versus 50 Viltrumites.
Right.
And it's Twitter, man. People are gonna have various thoughts and opinions on things. But some of the shit I was seeing was flat out insane. So before I give like my take on this, man, where do you land on 50 Saiyans versus 50 Viltrumites?
This one to me it's not that hard, but it is tough because the circumstances have to be laid out, because there's an end to the Invincible comics, if I'm not mistaken. I've never read them, but I think there's an end. The Dragon Ball Z manga is still going on. So we have to pick like power scaling at this point. Because if we're talking about Saiyans to the point to where they at now with learning God techniques, hey, they cook, bro. Like, and I understand, right? I read somewhere earlier where they say Viltrumites can survive a planet exploding whatever. I've never seen a Viltrumite blow a planet up with bare hands.
See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? All right. If we have to, in order to have this debate, if we have to scale back one side, that side is the one that wins.
Facts.
If I got to scale back the Saiyans in order for them to fight the Viltrumites and make that fight plausible, that's the side who wins. Listen, man, I'm gonna tell you this: a Viltrumite can't turn into a grade 8.
Facts.
Bro, I think, man, look, man, and I'm so serious when it comes to this debate. People have forgotten Saiyan lore.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The full moon turns them into a grade 8. A grade 8 is powerful as shit. Just one grade 8. And the Saiyans have an attack to get an artificial moon in the air, no matter what time of day it is.
Thanks.
That's some balling ass warrior race shit to do some shit like that. Like, nah, man, we gonna ensure victory for ourselves, right?
That part.
There's one comic book instance where the Viltrumites use, and I don't know if they'll even get this far in the show. They use Beast Girl's form or whatever. She's gonna have this form where she turns like this big ass monster. They were worried if they could contain the monster or not, right? Bruh, 50 of them, that's essentially what the Viltrumites will be fighting against. 50 of them. It's over with. All right, so let's take the great, and this is the thing. You'll get that version of Saiyans if you take away all the Super Saiyan forms and stuff. You'll still have to deal with the great 8 Saiyans, right? So let's say we don't go with that. Make this quick for you. I'm going to give you the 4 strongest Viltrumites against the 4 strongest Saiyans. Strongest Viltrumites: Invincible, Omni-Man, I think it's Grand Regent Thread, who hasn't showed up on the show yet. He's like the ultimate Viltrumite, right?
Right.
And it's power scaling, I'm not sure. It's either Nissa or Conquest. It's one of those two that's number 4. Right? They're your 4 strongest Viltrumites.
Right.
Your 4 strongest Saiyans.
Cooked.
Hey, you got to list them out. Your 4 strong: Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Broly. Those are the 4 strongest Saiyans. The last one is the only one they need to see.
Fact.
And it doesn't matter which version of Broly you fight. If you fight old school Broly is the first Super Saiyan, was so damn powerful and wild with his powers that he blew up a planet. They thought he was dead. New Broly adapts as he fights.
Exactly.
He adapts as he fights. Learns Super Saiyan in the middle of a fight. Then went on to do Super Saiyan 2 and had his own version of being the Super Saiyan where he just still had the black hair, but his hair was up and his eyes were rolled back. God help you if he turned into a grade 8.
It's over with. It's over with.
Bro, you wouldn't even get to Goku.
Nah.
Broly gonna take care of at least. I ain't just gonna bullshit the Viltrumites like that. Broly taking down at least 30 by himself. That's before Vegeta and Goku enter the fray.
Like you said, bro, it depends on which Broly you're talking about. Because let's not forget OG Broly, when the movie first started, he blew up half the South Galaxy like that.
OG Broly is beating all 50. He beating all 50 by himself. Nah, man.
Easily.
OG Broly, he beating all 50 by himself. I tried to give you. Chris don't want you to have shit. I tried to give y'all 30. I tried to give you the quote unquote weaker Broly of the 2.
Right.
I can't even do that. Chris don't want you to have that.
Nah, that shit over with, man.
I ain't even got to get the Ultra Instinct, Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan 4, which Super Saiyan 4 just became canon, by the way.
Right, exactly.
Super Saiyan 2 Goku is handling business.
A problem.
And Vegeta.
Vegeta as a kid was blowing up planets. Like,
right.
come on, man.
This
With
ain't
the
close,
finger.
man. And trying to sit up here and talk about Viltrumites. Viltrumites got this shit together, man. What you call it? Mark is the damn hybrid, but he's emotionally stronger than them. The Saiyans are all ran on emotion. You ain't better beat that. Mark is your best out, and Mark can't even beat Trunks.
Nope, especially not OG Trunks.
The OG Trunks.
Nah, that nigga
Trunks,
different.
OG Trunks got the greatest debut in Dragon Ball history.
Man, what?
It ain't even close. That's the greatest debut in Dragon Ball history. After we just been told how powerful Frieza was and just saw how Goku struggled to beat that man.
Yep.
Trunks soloed the new Frieza Force like it was nothing. And his dad. Cold ass debut. You remember the trailer that came out with that? Where the American trailer, and they was introducing him. They had Trunks flashing back and forth and stuff. And then at the end, it's like him as a samurai running through. It was well, that was a time, man. That was a time to be alive, boy.
Facts.
That was a time to be alive, man. Dragon Ball, I would love. We definitely got to do a Dragon Ball appreciation show. Shout out to Toriyama. R.I.P. Toriyama, man.
R.I.P. man.
You was a real one. You gave us, and I think somebody said, maybe he said, he realized like the impact on black people that he had. Like somebody communicated to him, like, nah, black people really fuck with you in the United States.
Facts.
Like he created something special, man. And that was crazy. Everybody was down to talk about Dragon Ball Z. Hood people, the geeks, the straight A students, the these and below students, like everybody was just we were down to talk about Dragon Ball Z, man. All of us
universal, man.
It was cold. And then the impact it had, like it shit, the holdovers. What used to come on for Dragon Ball? Sailor Moon, I believe.
Sailor Moon.
I ended up getting into Sailor Moon a little bit. Like it wasn't the chick show. No, they was really getting down on that show.
Nah.
Let me tell you something. Watch Sailor Moon Uncut. Y'all gonna see some shit, boy.
Man, I was just about to say, bro.
Sailor Moon Uncut is something else. It is something else. Then I remember Outlaw Star.
Outlaw
Star was so cool to me.
I
remember they started rotating the shows that came on after Dragon Ball Z to get more exposure. The biggest one, and I would debate anybody that this show is better than Dragon Ball Z. Yu Yu Hakusho is one of the greatest animes I ever saw in my life.
Easily.
Yu Yu Hakusho is such a beautiful story, man. Beginning to end, it's such a beautiful story, and the fights on there, and the impact, like everything as it escalated, they didn't keep putting out forms and all that kind of stuff. Like they were introducing new attacks and things like that, but everything was just progressive. And Toguro is one of the great anime villains, but I can make the argument that Sensui was the best villain that show had.
Facts.
Sensui did what he set out to do. Sensui is all right, man. Let me stop. What I'm saying is, Dragon Ball Z is such an important part to the culture. I'm not gonna let recency bias come in and tell me that 50 Viltrumites stand a chance against 50 Saiyans, because it's simply not true.
Nah.
If Omni-Man would have showed up and Nappa and Vegeta was the first two motherfuckers he saw, I got Nappa beat. I got Nappa taking Omni-Man out, man. I got Nappa doing
soloing them.
Soloing them. What you mean?
Hey, no arguments here, bro.
One more thing. Goku has never beat Vegeta.
The unfortunate truth, man.
Goku has never beat Vegeta. Y'all can say whatever y'all want about Goku. Goku has never beat Vegeta.
The unfortunate truth.
All right, man. Let's get on to the news so we can get up out of here, man.
That part.
Over the weekends, the Wayans brothers were family, not the brothers. Oh, damn, that's an unfortunate typo by me. The entire family was inducted into the NAACP Hall of Fame. It was a great thing to see. The whole NAACP awards were a great showcase of Black excellence, right?
Phenomenal.
And it culminated. We heard from former Vice President Kamala Harris. I believe Shannon Sharp took home the best podcast with Club Shay Shay, which had a phenomenal 2024.
Right.
Kiki Palmer won Entertainer of the Year over Cynthia Erivo, which that was dope. But yeah, the Wayans family was inducted. I love Damon and Marlon's speech talking about Keenan and the origins. The way they talk about Keenan, it make you damn near feel like that was their father, right?
Right.
The way they revere him, man. My God, I hope people talk about me like that when I'm not.
Facts.
I hope, because the way they talk about him and how he had a dream, and it wasn't necessarily his plan to become this, but he set the tone so much,
right?
And they looked up to him so much that they wanted to become that. And here they are, man. And it's been a while. It's been a while since I've even seen Keenan. But I think Keenan is like full on retired. Like he not making appearances or nothing. He chilling.
Right. Yeah.
You know, some people have questions about his health. I'm not going there. I really do believe like he just decided to take it in and chill at the house. And I mean, even now the Wayans, they still eating. They still present on TV. Marlon had a show not too long ago. But I'm watching Papa's House with Damon Sr. and Jr., who's standing next to each other in this pic. I'm watching that, and I can't remember which one. I believe two of the Wayans write for that show. So it's like, I don't believe there's a decade without something from them in it. Honestly, I'm at the point I don't believe it's a couple of years has gone by and not one of them has been in anything or anything like that. So they are an institution. And I want to say this, Black certainly does not crack, because Kim Wayans has stopped aging.
Facts.
That woman, she looks good. Like when I saw her, she hasn't aged a damn day. But what did you think about the speech, if you had a chance to check it out, and this honor that has been bestowed on them?
I mean, I think saying well deserved is an understatement. Like
almost
you said,
feels redundant.
Yeah, bro. Like this is essentially an empire that they've built on the back of hard work, and I know some people are probably in the shadows, like, I wonder what they did to get their place in Hey, we don't care about that shit right now, bro.
Yeah.
They got it out the mud, and all kudos to them, man. I've been watching them since before I can even remember. Marlon and Sean, obviously. Shout out Damon, man. I spun the block a few years ago, actually rewatching My Wife and Kids, and it just solidified his greatness, bro. Like,
yep, it is a time to show. It's the only show. It's the only show I put toe to toe. And I know the issues, that he's faced outside of the show, but I can't say that I can't just put in my head that I don't watch the show. My Wife and Kids is the only family TV show that goes toe to toe with the Cosby Show to me. The only one, as far as humor, story, all of that. The only thing, My Wife and Kids didn't get a proper ending. That's the only thing holding it back in comparison to the Cosby Show for me. But yeah, continue what you were saying. Yeah,
man. I mean, this is one of those moments where you kind of just don't even really have the words to encapsulate everything that happened with this speech, man. Like you said, it was phenomenal, man. I mean, like you said, I hope that everybody in the family is as grateful as they were to Keenan, man. Like somebody who paves the way and basically gives y'all the blueprint on where to, find y'all mark. Like that's timeless, bro. And y'all can look back and, wonder where will you be without him, So somebody had to step out on that limb and walk that plank and dive in and, get their feet wet. And I'm pretty sure he took a lot of bullets, figuratively, for the rest of the family. I mean, he stuck his neck out. So it is a joy for sure.
Marlon told a great story on Club Shay Shay, speaking of, where he was talking about his dad tried to stop him from going to acting school. Mm-hmm. And he told Keenan about it. And Keenan and all of them sat down, and Keenan told his dad, if you don't let him go to that school, you got to deal with me. Gangster shit.
Facts.
You told your father that, man. And look at where Marlon ended up. And Marlon did go to that school.
Right.
Which leads me to this. Who's the greatest Wayans? If we got to take Keenan out, because he paved the way, it's hard for me to even pick anybody up. I ain't gonna say the greatest one. Who's the funniest one?
I was hoping that you would ask this question because I was asking myself in the car when we discussed this was what we talk about.
Yeah.
For me, I'm spinning the block, bro. I think Damon's timing is just impeccable, bro.
He a genius.
Yes, like TV shows, movies, on script, off script. I think he is one of the funniest, most underrated people to have in any space. Like, hands down for me, bro.
I saw a movie with Damon and Marlon together. I did not think it was possible. Well, because I thought Marlon was the funniest one, just being outrageous for a while. Then I really started to like get into Damon's catalog. Mm-hmm. Damon was funnier while also being a little more subtle. It was like his delivery was what was killing the movie. His delivery on all his lines and everything. But when he does have to act a fool, he got that too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You can put Damon next to any of his brothers in the movie, and the one direction is you got to act a fool the whole time. I'm taking David every time and every single time. But Marlon does have one of the funniest scenes I've ever seen. The beginning of White Chicks, where they're undercover, and he's that Hispanic. Bruh, when I tell you that boy was clowning for the beginning of that movie, man, he had me laughing so hard at this shit, man. And he just kept carrying on. Like, I'm like, how does everybody have a straight face while this man is acting like this? But yeah, I'm going with Damon too. Damon Jr. is like a cross between Marlon and Damon and me. But even on Papa's house, and he holds his own against his old man still he got him on there. Have you checked out Papa's house?
I've seen 2 episodes, man. I need to finish it up.
I really enjoyed that show, man. I highly recommend it.
Most definitely.
All right, that down. Let's move on to some surprising news, man. Kathleen Kennedy is retiring at the end of 2025. For those of you who don't know who Kathleen Kennedy is, she is a world-renowned film producer. And as of right now, she is producing she's the president of Lucasfilm, which means that she's produced the very recent Star Wars shows and movies, starting with The Force Awakens. And it's been some discourse over this. A lot of people want to look at her career in its totality. And if you do that, like if it's a Hall of Fame out there or something for this, she in it.
First ballot.
Here goes some of her hits. By the way, 8 Academy Award nominated movies, right? Some of her hits: Twister, Schindler's List, The Color Purple, The Sixth Sense, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. This is the big one for me. This is the big one, Jurassic Park.
Yes.
I don't even have to give you the rest of her film. That's a Hall of Fame career.
We're good.
Production, man. Like she one of them ones. She a legend. When it comes to the Star Wars stuff, I'll be honest, or the Lucasfilm stuff, that's kind of where her legacy took a bit of a hit, man.
Right.
Sure, you have The Force Awakens, which honestly, of those new Star Wars movies, that was the one I enjoyed the most. Was The Force Awakens. It's essentially A New Hope redone by J.J. Abrams, but it was solid. The issue came in for me with The Last Jedi, and it's very hit or miss from that point on.
Right.
I enjoyed Kenobi. I know some people started some diehard Star Wars people had an issue with that. I enjoyed Kenobi. Mandalorian, I've seen a few. I haven't watched all of Mandalorian, but I keep hearing how great it is. And I have the little bit I've seen, it's been good too. Rogue One. Rogue One is a great movie. But even with all of them, you still got The Last Skywalker, which no.
Trash.
No. Rise of Skywalker, sorry. The Last Jedi isn't absolutely not for me.
Right.
Solo, I believe, gets a bad break, but a lot of the production issues that Solo had kind of comes back to her. Then you had the council projects like the Jabba the Hutt project and Rian Johnson's trilogy. Taika Waititi was supposed to have a Star Wars film. It's probably for the better after seeing what he did with Thor: Love and Thunder. He's so goddamn goofy to me, man. But I'm not gonna get into it.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, she's been very much embattled with Star Wars, and it's to my understanding, it may have been too much to really handle, which honestly I believe is an issue that Kevin Feige has over at Marvel. When we didn't have all these TV shows and extra shit, Marvel was a well-oiled machine. That doesn't mean that all the projects were 5-star, but they had more hits than misses. And now I believe it's too much on his plate. And I think that's what happened with Kathleen Kennedy. What were your feelings on hearing the news about Kathleen Kennedy retiring at the end of the year?
Man, I gotta say, man, I'm a 90s baby, but I didn't really grow up watching Star Wars, bro. I didn't really get into it until I got older, which came from this newer generation of Star Wars. Then I kind of spun the block. And I've always known the story, but I actually had to go put that story into film, right? So the new stuff, yeah, it's definitely taking a hit. Like you said, all the other projects though that you named, and you named like 5, and that was enough on anybody's list. Bangers, bro. So that part kind of does make me kind of feel like that, oh man, sad to see her go. But there is a point in time where you start writing stuff. I think she was producing movies as early as the 80s. Like you spend the block on 40 years, like your pen can take a little bit of a break, man.
Yeah,
like,
man.
It's okay to me, dog. Like you said, Force Awakens, I believe, still holds the record domestic for the most money ever earned.
Yeah, it's still almost $1 billion in the domestic box office, which is, I don't know who gonna touch that. Because remember, Avengers Endgame came out after that, and Avengers Endgame didn't hit that mark.
Exactly.
Right. So Avatar hasn't hit that mark. Like so on and so forth. I don't know who's gonna even touch it, but that's under her belt though. That's under her umbrella.
Yeah, man. But like you said, I think in trying to wrap up the story, I think there were too many directions that it could have went in, especially with this new day and age, with Rey being the last Skywalker and stuff now. Like I think it was just too much for her, bro. Getting pulled from like 12 different directions about, I think we need to do this. I think we need to do that. Like you got 40 years in the game, bro. It's okay to like, hey, I'm done.
It's okay
like,
to hang it up. It's okay to hang it up. It's just
okay.
it's a shame that she didn't have a high note that she's going out on. I've heard great things about Andor. And maybe that'll be I know the source, but we were supposed to get a new Star Wars movie, every year, or was it every 2 years or something like that? It was this plan that was just outrageous. Then you had it was a movie. I forgot about this. They announced Duel of the Fates, which I believe was like supposed to be a Jedi and a Jedi sidekick type of movie and all that kind of stuff. And it was too much, man. Too much too soon. And Kevin Feige is trying to course correct that now, because that's what happened with the MCU. It just got to be too much, too soon, too often. Speaking of the MCU, Okoye's TV show, which I didn't even know that was a thing still, that was canceled now. So I guess it didn't matter anyway. But that's another thing, man. Giving projects to characters that nobody's fucking asking about, really.
Right.
And nobody's asking about that. I love Okoye. I'm not looking for a Okoye movie or TV show.
That part.
And the only reason I'm down with Armor Wars is, and honestly, you know what, that would have made it not a Captain America movie. I was thinking about absorbing the Armor Wars story into Captain America 4, but that makes it an Iron Man movie, and that's not gonna work. I would love to see Anthony Mackie's Captain America with Rhodey though on a mission together. I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, facts.
Shout out to Kathleen Kennedy. Your career was amazing, but there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with hanging it up. Nothing wrong with it. All right, wind it down here. We can be real quick about this, or we can take our time. It doesn't. It's whichever one. James Bond, the franchise, 007 franchise, has been bought by Amazon. This is major because the family, the estate that is on James Bond, from my understanding, they weren't interested in selling for quite some time, and they finally let it go. They're still involved in the projects that are going to be coming up, but they no longer own it. It is owned by Amazon, and I'm going to tell you, I can tell you right now what Amazon get ready to do. First of all, they said they're years away from a new James Bond movie, which is probably for the best because they started running out of gas around Spectre this last time.
Facts.
By the way, even though there were 5 movies, honestly, only 2 of them are good.
Hot take.
Casino Royale.
Banger.
Skyfall is the best James Bond movie ever.
Banger.
I'm not even. And for my money, this is the best James Bond ever. That's another hot take for you. That's the best
DC.
One. He had the physicality. He had the suaveness. He had all of it, man.
Yeah, he had that charisma for sure.
Yeah, he definitely. And I remember people made such a big fuss about him. He ended up being the best James Bond to me. And I love Connery, right? I love Sean Connery. I love Pierce Brosnan. Pierce Brosnan for the longest was my James. Yeah, he was my James Bond.
Yeah. Pierce was a beast.
Man. Man, it's this guy. This guy, Daniel Craig. But they said they're years away. Here's what I think Amazon is going to do, especially since they're really getting into their streaming. They have spent all their goddamn money on their Lord of the Rings show. You are getting 2 or 3 shows. They're going to pay it. They're going to, James Bond about to work this shit off. You're going to get 2 or 3 shows set in the 007 universe. I'm telling you that right now. And you're going to get movies. They're going to build this shit up like the MCU. You are about to have a 007 universe. You're going to get 006, 005. You get all of them. They about to pay for that shit. And their subscriber, and their subscription fee. That shit about to increase on their ass too. We about to pay for this, and they better give me everything.
Right.
What are you had any thoughts on this one?
Oh man, I mean, you pretty much knocked it out the park, man. Yeah, like you said, I think definitely after killing off these, I don't want spoiler if you ain't seen it by now, whatever. After killing off DC, aka 007, man, I knew they were in full rebuild mode then. Obviously the speculations up and down on who would become the next 007. It was like, I knew at that point, even in the movie, like the script, they were like, well, we don't really know what to call you anymore, because James is back, so you can't be 007 anymore because he's 007.
Right.
So you kill him, and that was like back to the drawing board. So yeah, I mean, that seems to be the new wave of movies now, is giving everybody a TV show with a backstory or a prequel somewhere in there. So yeah, it's definitely about to be interesting.
I'm telling you, man, we got to pay for this. You know something I found very interesting? An explanation as to why all of the James Bonds look different. And it's that 007 is a mantle and James Bond is a alias. So when one retires or dies, the next person becomes 007. And I thought that was like a great way of thinking about that franchise, that all of these stories take place in the same universe. It's just new James Bonds, whether they die or retire, get replaced. The thing is, none of them are close enough in age for like a cool James Bond team up movie. Except like you can put Pierce Brosnan in, but he's a little bit, he's up there in age now.
Yeah, you see
Daniel Craig, I know the spoiler or whatever, but Daniel Craig's flat out said on the press tour, he is not doing this shit no more. He done. He was like, he couldn't wait to be done. It's James Bond. So
kill me.
But that would be pretty dope if like the James Bonds came together and they kind of confirmed that theory. So
sitting down drinking some tea or something. Yeah, for sure.
Last one.
The Queen.
Angela Bassett had some things to say about her Oscar loss, I guess.
Right.
She said she thought it was her time. She was shocked that she didn't win. I was shocked that she didn't win.
We all were.
And she put in the time, and it kind of reminds me of the story with Samuel Jackson, where he was up, and the consensus essentially was that he was the best performance for Pulp Fiction, and they thought he was going to win, and he was told it was, I forgot what the actor's name was, but it was his time, and they, gave him the Oscar or whatever.
Essentially.
Yeah. And Sam hasn't won one since then. So Angela said, I put in the time. Angela Bassett should have won for What's Love Got to Do With It, if you ask me. That one alone, she should have won for that. She and Lawrence Fishburne both should have won for that movie. Her performance in Waiting to Exhale was amazing. Angela Bassett is one of them. She one of them actresses, right? But the way she commanded the screen in Wakanda Forever, I agree. She should have won for that, and she didn't. And who knows? Who knows when that opportunity will be back for her? But I can tell you this: I watch everything, everywhere, all at once.
All at once.
Jamie Lee Curtis was not better than Angela Bassett that year. What do you think? Just let me know your thoughts.
I'm glad you said it, so I ain't have to, but I'm gonna repeat it. That was her sympathy Oscar, man. We all know that they've been, theorizing that, Jamie Lee Curtis should have had one as well for prior projects, whatever. Cool. This wasn't the time to give her sympathy Oscar at all, because of, like you said, the commanding performance that Angela Bassett put on. Like, he died. And she was still the most captivating person in that movie, bro. It shouldn't have been close, man. It shouldn't have been close.
The other thing is, Everything Everywhere All at Once is a great movie.
Right.
Deserved the other awards. That's just the one I don't agree with. I just don't.
Facts.
I don't, man. I don't. Didn't it won Best Picture? I believe it won Best Picture.
Yeah.
It deserved all that other shit. That was a cool ass movie, man. I need to revisit it. That was a cool ass movie. The fake ending,
right?
I loved it. I love the fake ending on there, man, because I was watching it on the plane, and my wife was watching some of it with me, and then we got back home. She was burned out. She went to sleep.
Right.
I finished it, and I thought that was the end of the movie for real. And I was like, wait a fucking minute, man. Because, I mean, at that point, the movie had been on long enough to run a feature-length time or whatever. But nah, that fake out was good. But anyways, Angela Bassett, I mean, for her speech at the United Nations alone, it's all of it. It was captivating, but it is what it is, man. You know what they say, we ball.
Right. Ball up top.
Ball up top, we ball. Anyway,
know what you whisper, man.
Yes, sir. Time to get up out of here, man. Time to get up out of here. Another great show, brother. I appreciate you. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Let me know what you thought of the show in the comments. Continue to like, continue to share, continue to subscribe. We appreciate everything you've done for us, for everybody tuning in. Man, the show has been more successful than I anticipated, and I appreciate it. Until next time, from my esteemed colleague, Hoodie C, I'm Jarius, Unapologetic Geek. This is Unapologetic Opinion on U-GeekTV, and we are out. Damn.
U-GeekTV.